Welcome back to the show. We are on part 4, I believe, of diagnosing and checking Olympia SM3 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, no 6s, 7s. They're all pretty much the same Olympia machines. We're talking about ribbon issues, and most common ribbon issues you will find with stuck ribbons happen right up here in the front. Now, when you're working on your machine and it's upside down and flattens out, this little metal bar right here, this paper guide, often gets rearranged and pushed where it shouldn't be. So when you're dealing with stuck ribbon issues, if you haven't already cleaned it, guys, remember, watch the first video. We're starting with a clean typewriter. First question anybody asks, and the answer is always, did you clean it? Because that is 99% of the time issues with the typewriter. It's just filthy. It needs to be cleaned up. But if it isn't a cleaning issue and you are still having ribbon lift issues, this is what we would look for. First, it would be this bar, because if this bar is bent just a little too much, it will interfere with the way that lifts. A second thing you can look at is, it doesn't really happen all too much. These little guys down here, those are just bottom centering devices. The typewriter would work without these, and they're just kind of there. Don't really have many issues with that. Another thing that can happen is this plate can interfere, so you can take this plate off and you can pull the screw there on that side, and then this whole deluxe plate just comes off. And that gives you better access to clean inside there and check out what's going on with your ribbon lifter, because there are, let's see if I can get this ribbon up here. Right here, there are like channels. Did you see it just drop down there? Sorry guys. These little channels right here that guide the ribbon up and down its path. And those can get dirty, and you can follow it all the way down to its travel. So cleaning your typewriter ribbon, cleaning everything out, making sure this is out of the way. Now, when we talk about ribbons, this is kind of beginner typewriter 101 stuff. You kind of have to know the how and the why of what your ribbon is doing in order to fix it. If you don't know how your ribbon drive and your ribbon lifter system works, you can't start fixing it. It's as simple as that. Now, on most typewriters, nearly almost every single one of them, you're going to have this universal bar, okay? And this universal bar, if you notice when you push the keys down, it has these little bumps and it presses on this bar, okay? And if you come up here, you know your ribbon is going up and down, so you can start saying, okay, well, what does this do? And then if you just pull that down by itself, you can see that lifts the ribbon. The universal bar lifts your ribbon. This is your ribbon lifting bar. Now, if you're having issues with your ribbon not going high enough, or it's kind of dipping into the red and black is mixing when you're typing, this crossbar right here, along with all these adjuster screws, this screw, and then finally, this screw is usually the one that's the most problematic if you're dealing with ribbon lift issues where your red isn't printing all the way. And that's just a matter of loosening this and adjusting this collar, because this rod goes all the way to your ribbon lifter. That is the actual rod that pulls up on your ribbon lifter. Now guys, a lot of this stuff you don't have to mess with. I'm going to tell you guys again that just because I'm showing you these things, it doesn't mean you have to go in and start messing with this stuff. We talked yesterday about the ring and cylinder adjustment. Now that can bring your platen closer and give you better type feel and better type print, but conversely, the opposite of that, the equal opposite reaction, is that you bring this so close to the ribbon lifter that it might jam your ribbon lifter. So every system in every typewriter, they're tied together, they fit between each other. What happens to one thing may affect the actions of the other. Now, if you bring your platen too close, your ribbon might not drop down all the way. So you got to you got to check these things. And my point is that just because they have these options to adjust, and I'm giving you guys these option points to adjust, to make adjustments, they don't have to be adjusted all the time. Just be aware. Be aware of that. Make sure I'm not crushing stuff back here. So this is probably just going to be a short video on the ribbon lifting system because it is pretty basic. Now, on the bottom here with with the U-bar, there are some adjusting points right here on this cross shaft that runs your springs, and these are your ultimate stoppers for the U-bar. You never have to mess with those, but those are what stop your ribbon from going too high. If for some reason your red is going so high that it's off the page, then it's because somebody came in here and messed with these adjusters right there, and the U-bar is just going way too far. Never happens. Never have to mess with those. These little guys are super fun to play with because this can adjust your touch control, a secondary touch control. Let me see if my 5.5, take your 5.5 millimeter screw or your socket. You see that, how it just clicked down? Let's do it again on this side. I'm working through the lens. Crack it loose. Loosen it. There it goes. So this bar runs spring tension all the way to your tight bars, and you can adjust it if this is, you can give it a kind of a halfway. Once this is loose, you can kind of set it how you want. You got some play to add spring tension to your typewriter. And with the Olympias, oftentimes there are some weird type feel issues, and this can help out, and it'll actually give you more adjustment room with your standard touch control because this just adds tension to your U-bar, and that puts more pressure on this. It's just, yeah, there's ways to adjust it. So that's a cool little fun thing for you guys to do on your Olympias. So ribbon issues, if you guys have ribbon issues, do the basic checks and then follow along this video, and you can start looking around your typewriter and seeing how things work. And mostly it's just this bar going up and down, connecting to all of this stuff right there. I'm not going to go into ribbon selection issues because it rarely happens, and when it does, it's deep inside there. There's a component in there that we have to get to, and we don't have access to get to that. Ribbon lift issues with the color selector, I've never seen it on the Olympias. Not that it's not going to happen, but just I don't see it. Quick video to get today, guys. I'll try to sling together a different aspect, and we'll go from there. Hope you guys enjoy the series. If not, and it doesn't matter, I'm going to do it anyway. Maybe somewhere down the line somebody's going to watch all these and decide they're going to pick up a typewriter and start working on it. And this is what I do. All right, guys, talk to you later.